Welcome to the Saturday Update. Faith Gard with you. Election day for both leaders of the major parties kicks off in Victoria. Scott Morrison and Anthony Albanese are using the final hours of their campaigns to grab support in marginal seats in Melbourne before heading back home to Sydney to cast their ballots. Labor holds a 6-point lead in the polls. While polling booths are open until 6 p.m. Saturday night, the Australian Electoral Commission's Evan Eakin-Smith reminding us voting is compulsory.
We think the biggest punishment is the fact that you'll miss out on your say. You only get that say once every 3 years. Don't waste it. Treat it seriously. Inform yourself and come to the ballot box. The other punishment, of course, well, you might get a fine. So better in your pocket than ours.
The death of an infant at a home in Melbourne's northeast is being investigated. Emergency services responded to reports a child had been critically injured. A body was found inside a home, while a woman has been airlifted to hospital with life-threatening injuries. It's been a horror night on Queensland's roads, with 3 people dead in separate crashes in Rockhampton, on the Fraser Coast and in Ipswich. Concerns are growing over an increase in ambulance ramping in Western Australia, with officials on high alert this weekend. 2 people died last weekend after waiting several hours for an ambulance to arrive. Ukraine says the evacuation of civilians and wounded soldiers from the besieged steel plant in Mariupol is now over. Russia claims around 2,000 Ukrainian soldiers that were defending the plant have surrendered. Veteran of Australian broadcast journalism Caroline Jones has passed away after a fall at her Sydney home aged 84. She worked for the ABC for 40 years. And in an Australian first study by Deakin Uni, men who attended elite private schools are being asked how their education affected their attitude towards women. Checking sport now, Sir Doug Nicholls' round in the AFL has opened with the Blues thanks to a 9-goal second quarter, beating the Swans 102-87. Carlton forward Charlie Curnow dominated with 6 goals. The Never Say Die Sydney did get within 9 points in the final term after trailing by almost 40 points. Winning coach Michael Voss says his boys found a way to hold on.
And then in the last 5 minutes, you could just see we started to get some method back. We started to get some territory again. So I'm not sure where we found it, but it was certainly really timely.
In the NRL, a last-minute conversion to Parramatta has seen the Eels get up 22-20 over Manly, who lost Tom Trbojevic after dislocating his shoulder in the second half. And more pay for the Bulldogs in their first match after the departure of coach Trent Barrett, going down 22-36 to the Tigers. And for even more sports news, make sure you check out the Sports Update. You'll find it wherever you're listening to this show. To entertainment news now, we're nearing the end of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Both of the actors' agents have testified about how the allegations about their marriage have affected their clients' careers. Ozzy Osbourne's 38-year-old daughter Amy and her producer have escaped a recording studio fire in Hollywood. Sadly, one person perished in the blaze. And if you're a fan of the Netflix hit Heartstopper, good news, it's been renewed for 2 more seasons. I'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of The Update.